Hey folks, we're back with another episode of Three Men and an Anime. Huzzah!
Hooray!
This is Peter Bowman, and as always, I'm joined by my good friends and co-hosts, Eric Carlson and Gav Leaf. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing okay.
I had a nap and managed to wake up.
Truly, this is the greatest of days.
Yes.
Do that or a sign of the end times.
Well, you know,
Yes.
it's only a matter of time until we reabsorb your country into ours now that we've had the royal wedding.
I thought we sort of sleeper
No,
agent
this
with the royal
seals
family.
the alliance between our two kingdoms.
No, we're definitely taking you back. The Queen's gonna just.
Do you really want us back, Eric, Gav?
No. You see, the Queen's had a look, seen what's going on. She's no, enough of this shit.
But do you really want us back?
So we can have more people vote for Brexit?
Well.
At any rate, this week we're covering Eric's most recent choice, Mob Psycho 100, which we knocked out in about 2 weeks.
Well, it would have been a lot quicker, but I went on holiday!
Yes, Gav went on holiday, and it took us 2 weeks to
Gav
get through
fucked
the
off
series.
for 3 weeks and left us like sitting there going, what do we do now? What do we do, George?
Well, you know what you did. You watched My Hero Academia.
Well, yeah.
And other stuff. So at any rate, yes. So Mob Psycho 100. It's a show that was produced by Bone Studios, which means that the animation is probably going to be very good.
Yep.
We'll get into that. And it's written by one. The webcomic author, mangaka, I guess, the author of
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man. So the writing was going to be smart and interesting, and probably very funny. It was all of that. So Eric, this is your choice. I guess So as always, I don't think we need to. We don't want to hit. I don't think we want to do a plot point breakdown because.
Right.
Well, the
then I'll
plot,
be here all night.
it's one of those shows where a lot happens in each episode, but the plot is actually extremely simple.
And that's not what's interesting about the show.
No, there's probably maybe 2 or 3 major plot points in the show.
Yep.
It's more about just how he gets there. It's like I said, it's a 1, 2, 3 beat story. That's it. Set up, peril, solution, done.
Yep, and it goes through like 3 or 4 different arcs like that.
Yeah,
That
they're
are loosely
like,
connected.
there are a few mini arcs within the show, and sort of an overarching sort of story about the titular
About
mob.
Mob. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mob and his issues.
Which he does have, but they're not as bad as you'd think they might be.
This is true.
So
this.
Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
Okay. So the show centers around our titular character, Mob, whose real name I'm not going to bother to pronounce. 'Cause I
Shigeo
suck-
Kagayama.
Yeah, because I suck at pronouncing Japanese names despite all the Japanese I listen to. And he's a middle schooler whose part-time job is working for the world's greatest psychic, Regan. Regan's a con man.
Oh,
Regan's a total con man. He is a masterful con man. He's great at being a con man, actually. He's convinced Mob, who has actual, like, Akira-level psychic powers.
yeah. No, I will agree with you on that. He has Akira-level psychic powers, not Tetsuo-level psychic powers.
Right, yeah. There's no danger of Mob turning into a giant Shoggoth baby.
No, but there's a possible danger from, like, say, wiping out existence if he just...
By accident, yes.
Yes.
What I will say about Regan, at the very least, though, he is. I wouldn't say he's moral as such. He is, but he's not your typical leave some everything for nothing kind of con man.
No.
He will quite often give somebody something for their money. Not that they were expecting, but they definitely get something for their money.
He's differently moraled, but definitely moraled.
Yes.
Yeah, a prime example that pops up a couple of times is people coming in with, they're being haunted, and Regan's very quickly able to go, oh, they just need a massage, and he's actually very good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're convinced they're being haunted, so...
Yeah, the majority of people that come in with evil spirits weighing them down, he just basically puts them on the table and gives them a massage.
Yep. Or he talks them through their shit through a seance.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's really good at cold reading and is actually pretty good at, like, figuring out whatever's got someone twisted up and making it less twisty. Which you don't find out immediately. He's just a con man who gets... The initial episode is he gets hired to go and clear out a haunted building, and he brings Mob along because Mob's the guy with the actual powers. Regan can't actually see the ghosts. He knows they're there because Mob sees them, but he can't actually see them.
He doesn't even bring Mob along. At first, he goes to the building, is going to, okay, I'm going to, quote, exorcise the building, and then an actual ghost shows up, and he's like, ah.
I should call Mob.
Under the pretext of it being training for Mob.
Yes. Because Mob clearly needs more experience dealing with supernatural horrors.
Admittedly, yeah, the only person it looks like he's ripping off is Mob.
Right.
It's your typical, Mob's the one doing all the actual work, at least when it comes to the spirits. And he pays him, like, it's something really...
Literally pocket change. Like
300 yen an hour.
Yeah, 300 yen an hour. It's literally pocket change. Here's the thing. Mob's... Yeah, he's got Akira level psychic powers. He is ridiculously, like, emotionally suppressed because, well, he is. His psychic powers tend to go nuts when he gets emotionally overwhelmed. And he is so beautifully naive.
Yeah. Well, and that's sort of a result of him actually suppressing all his emotions.
Right.
Which he does because when he was much younger, he did lose control in a very stressful situation, and he realized that he could have accidentally hurt his younger brother, Ritsu.
Well, for the longest time, he believes he did. I mean, we find out later on that it was because the people who he actually psychically whooped ass were the high school bullies that were picking on them. What high school bullies are doing picking on fucking grade schoolers, I don't know. I guess
assholes.
That's a thing in Japan? I don't know.
Assholes gonna ask? I don't know.
Yeah.
I say that, but I've seen people pick on guys in wheelchairs at the bus stop.
Yeah. So, yeah. So Mob locks it up, and he's, which has led to me being very, naive and emotionless a lot of the time.
He always has this same, like, just completely, like, blank, guileless expression on his face. Part of the things I really like about this show is the simplicity of the art style and how it's not afraid to occasionally be very ugly.
Well, the thing is so as a great point of contrast between Mob Psycho and One Punch Man. One Punch Man, the anime the art is based off of the manga adaptation of One's webcomic, which had an entirely different artist who basically took, One's simplistic drawings and, translated them into
traditional anime,
traditional manga art, stunningly gorgeous traditional manga art.
Yeah, with One Punch Man, there are points in there that deliberately, like, reference the original art.
Yeah,
but it's for comedic. It's not for the actual meat of the show.
Not to say that this show is bad or ugly or poorly drawn at all.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Two things going for this. One is One's art does not have good draftsmanship at all. But he does have a knack. I've looked at some of the stuff. He has a knack for expressing having his characters express their emotions, and having this very sort of cool, sketchy sort of background art style. but he's not a trained artist. And so, but yeah, Bones went directly from his art to the show, and it's not a direct one-to-one relation, because like if you look at the art, like the character designs are very simplistic, but like they don't have a lot of line work, but you can see like they like everything's actually very well drawn.
Yes.
And the simple
Simple
line work,
does not mean bad.
right? And the simple line work means they can do some really expressive animation.
And really crazy stuff. Yes.
The whole thing that the big thing that people are talking about at the moment is the change in art style of Dragon Ball for the new movie, and they've come out and said, yeah, because the stuff we've been producing for Super was so overly complicated that it took us so much fucking effort to get any actual movement and of quality, and it's fucking Dragon Ball.
Right.
So we're simplifying the art so we can make it look better. And this show is basically that. It's in a similar sort of vein to One Punch Man, but it's simplified art, but it looks amazing when it's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's another one of those shows where there are going to be a lot of people out there that don't understand the difference between art style and art quality.
Yes.
I have a question for Eric, actually, before we go too much further.
Okay.
This is back to the animation thing. How many different animation techniques did you see in the show? Because I caught like 2 or 3.
Christ. Oh, there were scenes with like a half dozen in there.
Yeah.
Like there was like one of the things I really like to do for when things get weird is paint on glass.
Yeah.
And it just looks amazing. Like when a ghost shows up behind someone, and it's just this painterly mass of brushstrokes and movement forming a face. It's just, holy shit, that's great.
I also really like the watercolory sort of backgrounds they use.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I will admit the first couple of episodes,
or the pencil sketches.
Yes.
The animated pencil sketches.
The first couple of episodes took a while for me to get used to because of the psychedelic style.
Yep.
And me, I am more of a traditional. I don't like it when there's too much going on screen. I can't tell what's going on.
Right.
But yeah, once you're used to it, like I say, it's a little bit jarring to begin with. But once you're used to it, and it is beautiful.
Like, yeah, I really this show's gorgeous.
Yeah.
We should get back to the actual like story. Like one of the narrative things that they do in the show is Mob has a little counter that ticks up the more stressed out he gets.
Yep.
Because you can't tell by his expression because he's really good at covering that up.
Yep.
But it gives you a countdown to when the crazy shit happens.
Yep.
Which builds the anticipation, and B does a great job of establishing just how stressed out Mob is, because or how badly like something hurt him.
Yep.
Emotionally, just watching the little counter tick up.
And the clever thing is, it's not a constant thing. It's like every now and again it'll be like at 16%, and it'll just tick over 17, 18.
Right.
And that's it, just a tiny little movement. The next time it mentions it, it doesn't pick up again straight from 18. It might be like 43, 44,
right.
45, and that's it. Unless he's really pissed off, and then it's just like...
And once it hits 100, he kind of loses his shit, and that's when the animators go completely bananas, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. I mean, I want to make something clear. The animators are never not bananas. They just go completely bananas. They just throw restraint out the window. It's a Machiavellian party.
Yeah. It's literally like a case of, okay, art school types, show me what you can do.
It's the animation equivalent of Caligula throwing a party at Studio 51. It's amazing.
Because they really do throw, like, as Eric said, there are a couple of scenes where they really do throw like a half dozen animation techniques into the same goddamn scene.
Yeah, it honestly feels like it's a case of let's see, let's not worry about the hang on, what's the phrase? It's let's not worry about if we should. Let's just see if we can.
Yeah. Yeah, no one asks if we should in this when it comes to animating this.
And the thing is, I'm glad they didn't because it works every time.
Yeah.
Like it never feels jarring or weird. And
Well,
like,
Of course it feels weird. The whole show's weird. But
the advantage it's got is it's dealing with the supernatural.
yes,
And so it's got that reign to do that kind of weird shit.
it is. This is a show that could only ever exist animated.
oh god,
Oh God, yes.
Like you. This is a show that takes full advantage of the medium of animation, unlike say, K-On!, which is gorgeously animated, but you could totally do live action and not lose a lot. And it would still be equally as boring.
that's fighting words for some people I know.
I will fight them.
I know some people who really like K-On!, but anyways. I've not watched it, so I can't comment. But at any rate, so
I will just state one last thing about the art is I don't know whether it's just the quality of the writing but one seems to attract some really high level like I mean obviously the studios and the guys they've got working for them, but One Punch Man and this they have similar style because it's simply the base art. But both of them are fantastically animated.
Yes.
It's just superb. Just yeah, dude's got a talent for just like putting out work of such a written work of such a level that he's attracting these companies and these studios and these artists that are doing justice to his work.
Yes. And it's not like the writing is not there either. Like like all of these characters, like the simplicity of their design, I'm sorry, is completely what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say subverted by the complexity of the character.
yes,
Yeah. The thing is, one could very easily become an actual just novelist.
probably.
He doesn't need the art. He doesn't need the comic style. I don't think. Because his characters are so well. I mean, Regan is probably one of the best characters in this entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because he reacts like an actual person in most situations. It's not an overblown, like, he feels like a real world person stuck in an anime.
I don't know about that. He feels like a really well-written Doctor Who character.
Oh, well,
like we mentioned this towards the end, where Regan basically just pulls a Tom Baker on the entire evil psychic organization.
Yeah.
Never let Regan talk. Or give him information. He is a Time Lord. Information is a dangerous weapon in Regan's hands.
Yeah. And as Eric pointed out, he's very good at cold reading.
He's great at cold reading. The dude's fast talk score is through the roof. But yeah, so the thing about the show is it contrasts Mob with a bunch of different other characters, like Dimple. Dimple's an evil spirit that starts a cult that's all about making people happy and smiling so you can siphon off their psychic energy and become a god, because Dimple is an evil spirit after all.
Yes.
So it doesn't work on Mob, because Mob doesn't need to be that happy and smiling all the time. And that kind of psychic domination, that kind of emotional domination doesn't work on him because he's so in control of his emotions.
Also, he's an immensely powerful psychic, which means he's inherently resistant to anything.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like Dimple just doesn't have anything to get his hooks into, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, there is that
Dimple's
too.
Biggest problem.
Well, no,
Psychic or not.
He does get his hooks into Mob in entirely the wrong way.
That's true. Yes.
Because he does jack Mob's emotions up through the roof, and then Mob left the smackdown.
We won't make that mistake again.
And thus Dimple's reduced from a giant, monstrous, muscly death ghost to a blob of ectoplasm following Mob around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which Mob is cool with, because, Dimple's not a threat, and he can provide some insight into stuff that he's dealing with.
Mob was going to exercise the remnants of him at first, but Dimple does manage to talk his way out of it.
Yeah, Dimple's another one good at fast talk.
Yes.
Dimple's
Mob
far
is
more clever than he
naive.
has a right to be.
Yeah. And Mob is just... Yeah, Mob is Mob. He gets taken in, he just is like... Dimple, all he has to really say is like, I'm reformed, I won't hurt anybody else again, I just don't want to disappear. And Mob's like, okay, if you don't hurt anybody. He's like, Dimple's like, really, that worked? Oh, shit, okay.
And Dimple also is aware that he better not let Mob catch him hurting anybody, because otherwise Mob will just squid him.
Yes.
Dimple does stick up for Mob several times during the course of the show.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the thing is, Mob wins him over.
Yes.
To a large degree, because Mob's a good kid. I mean...
Yeah, Mob's a really good kid.
He's not particularly smart. He's woefully unathletic. Kind of dull and uninteresting, but he's a good guy, and...
That's another great thing about Mob, and another thing contrasting him. People are trying to pressure Mob. One of the short little side stories is people are trying to pressure Mob into joining an after-school club. And the telepathy club really wants him to join so that they'll have 5 members and not be disbanded. Because they'll lose their club room to the Body Improvement Club. So the entire arc is them trying to convince Mob to join up, and he does join the Body Improvement Club. Because, yeah, he could join the telepathy club and be the big king and the big fish in the small pond and all that, but he's aware of his own limitations and is trying to surpass them, because he doesn't just want to be defined by his psychic powers. He's desperately does not want to be defined simply by his psychic powers. Also, He's trying to impress a girl that really doesn't deserve his attention.
Well, yes.
She's a bit of a
He's
bitch.
13, whatever.
Yeah. What 13-year-old didn't fall for a bitch that didn't deserve his attention?
There probably are some, but...
Yeah, this is true. Sometimes
but at any
it's
rate...
the other way around.
But yeah, Mob is... But that's one of the lessons that Regan sort of pointed out to him. This is one of the things...
Yes.
Mob... An important thing is Mob went to Regan because Regan had this psychic consulting agency thing. And Mob went to him to see if Regan could help him learn to control his powers, because Mob didn't want to accidentally hurt people. And Regan... We see this in a flashback much later in the show. We actually see Regan basically sort of, realizing what Mob really needed. And, basically points out that, your psychic talents are a talent, but that's not all you are. It doesn't make you any better a person.
Yeah, he describes psychic powers as a knife. Knives are excellent tools. You can do lots of things with knives, but you don't use them on people.
He also tries to convince him, having psychic powers is all well and good, but that's just a normal person might long for psychic powers the same way you might long for an athletic body. It's a skill set,
math
or good at math, or charming and all this sort of stuff. It's a skill set you've got. That is your skill set. Okay, you don't have anything else, but they have that. They don't have psychic powers. It's just another skill set.
Yep. They're no greater or lesser than you are. And that's when we meet the other contrast to Mob. What's the kid's name?
His younger brother Ritsu, or the
Taruki.
Yes,
Taruki. Yeah, we should don't forget to talk about Ritsu though, because Ritsu's really fucking important.
Ritsu's important.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about Blondie, because he's pretty much Mob gone in the complete opposite direction. He's another insanely powerful psychic, with all kinds of telekinetic powers, and he's really good and creative about how he uses them and such. And he uses them to basically dominate his school and become the most popular kid, and leans on them completely.
Yeah.
And is still deep down terrified that's all he is. Something Mob eventually zeroes in on.
Well, yeah, it's like he happens to be, he's good academically, he's good at sports, he's good at charm and all this sort of stuff. But that's because every single thing he does, he's augmenting with his psychic abilities.
Yep. He's reading the teacher's mind to know the answers in the test. He knows what to say and how to say it to people because he's able to figure out what they want to hear. He's augmenting his physical abilities in gym and sports. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff Bob could be doing, but he's not because Bob's not a monster.
Well, he has a great line where he basically says, he's the protagonist of he's the main character of the world, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, kid, you're not in episode 1. You're not the main character.
And the other thing is he's never run into a powerful psychic before, one who's actually anywhere near his league.
Right.
Well, he believes he was on his own. He didn't realize there was anybody else.
He knew that other psychics existed because
he's dealt with Claw before.
Right.
The psychic organization that shows up.
But the people that they sent after him were the schmuckos, and he just like
right. That's all you guys got. Okay, cool.
We'll come to Claw later.
Oh yeah.
Right. And they fight. And by fight, I mean he throws a bunch of telekinetic attacks at Mob, and Mob's like, dude, you really shouldn't be doing this. This is not how you use psychic powers. Dude, someone could really get hurt.
One other important bit I do want to mention, though, before that is this is all sort of... Mob has been abducted by at this point, had been abducted by the thug, the delinquent group of what's his bucket school,
right?
Because they wanted to, it was a rivalry between the
It's a rivalry between the two schools gangs.
Yeah. And so they've taken him prisoner, and so the Body Improvement Club actually shows up to get Mob back.
Yeah.
Because
the Body Improvement Club are all giant sweethearts.
They are. Like the nicest guys. They're amazing. So they show up, they ask for Mob back, and the gang basically says, they start yelling at them. The Body Improvement Club has no desire to fight. They're just like, no, we just want to remember back, and we'll leave you guys alone. We don't really care.
We're just going to take off with our friend. So, yeah. So they try to fight the Body Improvement Club, but they're the Body Improvement Club.
They're all huge, like the Space Marines in high school.
They all look like friggin' 30-year-old weightlifters.
Yes.
They're middle schoolers. Which is part of the joke.
It is. And they just sort of effortlessly just sort of brush them all off. It's not really a fight.
No.
And then Tarakumi?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Tarakumi shows up.
Taruki.
Taruki shows up, and you lay the smackdown because his psychic powers make him cheat.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then then we get the confrontation between him and Mob, which starts with Mob just casually taking the ropes that he's been tied off with his psychic powers.
So, dude, that's not cool. Why would you hurt them?
The thing is, this scene goes on at length, with Taruki just basically taunting Mob, hitting him with ungodly, throwing him through walls, and it's every over-the-top, augment psycho battle you could ever imagine from one side. And Mob is just taking these hits and just guy, dude, this is not, you shouldn't be using these powers on people. You're not better than anyone because you've got them. It's a responsibility. And Eric pointed out after about 10 minutes of one-sided offense, dude, take the hint. He's not even scratched. and Mob isn't at this point. He's a little bit disheveled because of the abduction, but Taruki's not fucking touched him once.
Nope.
Not even close.
It's not until Taruki actually just drops his psychic powers and tries to strangle them that he actually manages to do any damage.
And even then, it's only because Mob will not use his powers against people.
Yep.
to defend himself, and physically he's not capable of defending himself.
Right. But yeah, like the confrontation, it's Mob, oh god, Taruki basically proceeds to fling a bunch of knives at Mob, which Mob deflects away, shaving the top of Taruki's head bald.
Which is just hilarious, especially when he shows up later on with the friggin' Marge Simpson hair.
Yes.
To overcompensate.
And yeah, Mob basically points out that we're basically the same person. It's just that you're trying to convince yourself you're not, that you're better than everyone else because your psychic powers, but deep down that that's all you are, and that
you're empty inside, just like me. And that's what prompts him to start strangling him, because Taruki's really honestly pissed off and hurt. And he actually knocks Mob unconscious because Mob will not use his powers. Until he's unconscious. Then he starts using his powers.
Yeah, it turns out, as powerful as Mob is, he's more dangerous when he's knocked out.
Yeah, because now he doesn't have any inhibitions.
Because it shows his meter ticking up, and it gets to like 98.
And he passes out.
So he doesn't actually achieve the meltdown. But he's now a extremely powerful psycho pushed to the edge, and his controls have just been turned off. And Taruki feels that and shits a brick.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he pulls the end of it, and then Mob pulls the end of Akira and disintegrates the school.
And Taruki's clothes.
Yeah.
And Taruki's clothes.
Just blasts him into the upper atmosphere.
And Mob regains consciousness, goes, "Oh shit, what'd I do?" and puts the school back together.
When he comes back conscious, that's when his meter hits 100.
Yep.
And in his sort of sorrow about what he's done, he puts everything back together.
Well, that's it. Whenever he hits 100, it's always accompanied by a prevailing emotion, whatever's being pushed at the time. And in this case, I don't think it's specifically sorrow, but it's something like that.
Lines. Yeah.
Sorrow, guilt, what have you.
Yeah, the guilt of losing control and all that sort of stuff. So the powers take on a more constructive edge, and like you say, rebuild the school. They make sure Taruki gets down from the upper atmosphere, and puts everything back together.
Yeah. We really should talk about Ritsu.
So Ritsu is Mob's little brother.
Yep.
And Mob's idol. He completely idolizes his little brother because his little brother is everything Mob wishes he was. Ritsu is smart, popular, composed but charismatic.
Good-looking, athletic.
Yeah. And Ritsu doesn't have any psychic powers that we know of.
Yeah, Ritsu, and that's the thing. Ritsu, desperately wants Mob's ability. Ritsu also, Ritsu has a conflicted sort of relationship with his brother.
He is both
Mob.
terrified of his brother and desperately wants to have his abilities.
Well, that's the thing. He does admire Mob.
Yeah.
And desperately wants to be like his big brother with his abilities, and doesn't think that yeah, I may be smart and good looking and athletic, but Mob has psychic powers, and look how restrained he is, and how he doesn't do awful things with them, and how cool he is about using them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like that, but he desperately
at the same time you see Mob loses control and is very careful about. He walks in eggshells around Mob. He's careful not to let Mob know he's doing so, but he's scared of what happens when Mob loses his shit. Like there's definitely an element of fear in there.
Absolutely. Oh God, absolutely. He's always asking, "How are you doing? Are you okay? You feeling okay? If there's anything wrong, you can always talk to me."
Do you need to talk? I'm happy to talk.
Yeah.
I'm making him sound more self-serving than he is. Honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing. As I said, he's conflicted. As I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not any sort of animosity or anything like that. It's just basic sibling jealousy.
Yep.
You know, it's a typical thing. It's like Mob's got
No,
this.
it's not basic sibling jealousy because they would have murdered each other by now.
Oh yeah, there is.
Trust me, I've got 4 of them.
Oh God, there's 5 Erics.
Asterisks. There are more, but we ate the others.
Oh. but you know, okay then. Let me not sibling rivalry, but it's the usual case of 2 people are very close. You know, they both want what the other have without seeing what they've got themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in a malicious way or anything like that, or like, you know, jealousy as such. It's just the usual. Oh, why can't I be like you kind of thing.
Right. Why can't I have?
I think that aspect's more on Ritsu's side. Interestingly, Mob would like to be smart and, you know, popular and all that stuff, and he's trying to get to improve himself to become that. But I don't think he's actually jealous of Ritsu in that way. Is the thing? He just genuinely...
He's more admiration.
Yeah, it's admiration on Mob's side.
Yeah,
admiration and honestly just sibling love. I mean, he loves his brother.
Yeah.
And we really get a clear example of that a little bit later on.
Yes.
Whew.
Oh boy. Cold fury.
Yeah. So there's a on-running plot where you see Ritsu is always trying to develop psychic powers because he really wants them. Always trying to bend spoons and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which Mob does.
There's a running gag whenever Mob has food, he accidentally bends the flatware. Yeah.
If he's, you know, distracted or a little bit worried about something or something like that. So at one point there's this, you know, psychic power development center that grabs Ritsu and tries to convince him to come and develop his psychic powers because they think he's Mob. They got the wrong brother. Got the wrong Kageyama brother. Oops. And we're introduced to a bunch of espers who are there having their powers worked on.
Well, they definitely have abilities. They're just
very limited.
Frankly, pathetic.
I wouldn't go. I would say 2 of them are definitively pathetic. The other 3 at least have legit actual abilities.
Well, it's your typical joke, you know, you see in a lot of these sort of shows. It's the sort of, they are psychic in the manner that, you know, you see in like today's world kind of thing. At least the way they're presented initially. It turns out they do actually have abilities, but it's like, you know, he can, you know,
spend his finger on fire.
Yeah.
So this guy's a telekinetic. He can bend spoon. Watch him bend the spoon. Barely.
Stares at it for 3 hours and it just twitches. You know, like you see on TV today. Or, well, I say today, 20 years ago.
This girl's clairvoyant. She could pick the right card out of 52 60% of the time.
Which is damn good, honestly.
Which is damn impressive, but it's not, like, on the level of what Ritsu's used to dealing with.
Yeah, and then and
the 2 brothers
actual psychics.
The 2 brothers who are telepathic with each other, though.
Yeah.
Again, that's an actual ability. And it saves their bacon later.
Yep.
It turns out. But yeah, so, you know, Ritsu's just like, these are amazing psychic powers, yeah,
Yeah, you guys are, well done, guys. Pretty awesome.
I'm leaving now. But what ends up happening is Ritsu, in sort of a fit of despair, gets roped in by the student council president, because Ritsu's also in the student council, because of course he is.
Of course he is. This is an anime. He's popular. He's on the student council. The end.
He's popular, smart, and athletic. At any rate, so, yeah, the president basically has decided that he wants to... The president has a difficult relationship with his family, shall we say.
Yeah.
And decides that he's going to do something to make himself stand out at school. More than just being the president of the student council. And decides that they're going to clean up the school, get rid of all the undesirables. And he ropes Ritsu into helping him frame them.
For the most petty shit.
Yep. But it all works.
Yes.
Because they're doing, they do a pretty good job at framing them, and Ritsu's, smart about it, because Ritsu's smart.
Right. He knows how to play the game.
Right. And this ends up basically really eating away at Ritsu, because he knows he's doing the wrong thing. He knows he's doing something awful, and he really shouldn't be. He knows right from wrong, and he knows he's doing something wrong. But he also, his relationship with the mob is sort of tearing him up to a certain large degree. Because he is jealous.
Yeah. And this is where Dimple gets his hooks in.
Yep. Well, he actually, the guilt and dark and sort of anger inside of him actually is what unlocks his psychic abilities.
Yep.
Which is when he's finally able to see Dimple, and Dimple immediately gets his hooks into him. Because he's like, aha, now I have a psychic who I can actually manipulate. Because I can't manipulate Mob because A, he seems to be just, immune to manipulation. And B, I can't force my way into Mob because, boink. Mob's too strong. Also, and Regan's been an effective mentor to Mob that I can't manipulate him in the ways I want to manipulate him. But right. Regan here, I can manipulate him.
I can get my hooks into this guy. Not a problem.
And so, he trains Regan how to use his powers. But mostly because he's like, okay, well, Regan can't really control them. I can control them through in Regan's body. I'll possess him, and I'll have his psychic powers in my command. Ha 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 ha! Why can't I control him from in here? Oh fuck.
Well, at least now I can regulate the output of his psychic powers so that we can work together.
Yep.
Yeah. Turns out Ritsu
an actual symbiosis as opposed to being a parasite.
Yeah. Right.
It turns out Ritsu is actually a powerful psyker. He's not on Mob's level, at least yet. But compared to the research guys, he's an actual dangerous psyker. And he's just with Dimple's power level, he's not powerful enough to actually take control. He gets into the psychic core of Ritsu, but that's about it. He acts as a regulator rather than a. He becomes Ritsu's training wheels basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And so this leads up to a big sort of confrontation between the various school gangs.
Because they're all looking for white tea poison, the guy who beat up the shadow boss of, what was it, Black Vinegar Middle School? All the middle schools are named after various condiments.
Yes.
There's soy sauce and
Mob
miso.
School salt.
Yes. I really wanted there to be a ketchup and mustard.
So they're all coming to school looking for the shadow leader of that school, and they run to the student council president and Ritsu. And Ritsu's like, look, Prez, I'll handle this, and kicks the guys who showed up's ass. He just wrecks him. Because, I've got psychic powers now.
Right. I've got Dimple helping me out, regulating my powers, I'm channeling spooky powers through the evil spirit. I'm good.
And this leads to a big confrontation between,
his alignment. Dimple is definitely chaotic evil, and it revels in it.
Yes. And it leads to a big confrontation between the gangs, all the gangs, and Ritsu. Meanwhile, there's a shadowy adult Esper who's been watching over all of this. Who's watching this confrontation in this alley between Ritsu and the gang leaders, and calls in to somebody else who's at the augmentation clinic, cleaning up a mess there, shall we say?
Yeah.
And saying that he's going to take the kid here, but he wants to, a situation developing, he wants to observe it first. As Ritsu unleashes unholy hell on the gangs. I can't forget his name again. Takumi?
Taruki.
Taruki sees this going down and realizes that they're looking for the shadow leader of Salt Middle School, whom he knows is Mob. I mean, even though Mob really doesn't think he is,
right.
They're referring to Mob as the guy who beat him up, and he's like, yeah, that's Mob, not this dude who's claiming to be the Mob. I'm gonna go get Mob to let him know what's going on. Mob should probably know about this.
Yeah, Mob should be aware of what's going on.
Because Taruki has actually sort of taken a liking to Mob at this point, because Mob's pointed out exactly what's
Exactly
wrong
his shortcomings and how he can build up to what's the word I'm looking for? Address them. That's it.
Right, and because he sees, he realizes that Mob's sort of got the right angle on things. And so Mob shows up after Ritsu has kicked all their asses, and Rob's like, Ritsu?
Dude, why'd you do that?
Wait, first off, Mob's like, oh my god, this is great, you got psychic powers, I'm so proud of you. It's so great for you. And Ritsu's like, wait, what? And, Mob then apologizes to all the gang leaders for what Ritsu did to them. Taking responsibility as the older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry my little brother hurt you guys like this. He really shouldn't have.
He's new to it. We'll straighten him out.
Right. Now, the gang leaders, don't know that who or what Mob is. Also, before this, Ritsu has basically, he's laid into Mob a bit and basically pointing out that, he was afraid of him and all this other stuff, and just, basically, say, you may be my brother, but I don't care. I don't actually care that much about you. Blah blah. Which is Mob points out is a complete fucking lie. Mob's like, yeah, no, I don't buy that for a second, dude. Yeah, I get that you're afraid of me. And I feel really shitty about that. That's actually, I should have picked up on that. I'm really sorry, bro. Let me go handle the situation with the gangs for you, though. And the gangs basically tell him Mob to prostrate themselves and it's himself and get down on his knees and bow to them, and he's like, Mob totally does it. He's like, yeah, sure. Ritsu's standing there freaking out. At which point the Psyker leaps down because he's had enough.
Yeah, he's done dicking around.
And yeah, he shows up to kidnap Ritsu because he doesn't know Mob is a Psyker. And he knocks Riku down, and Mob tries to stand up to him. He punches Mob through a wall. And it's like, dude, he basically telling, and Ritsu's freaking out. And this is the point at which Mob just says, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Mob goes, you know what? I've never felt this before. Thank you for unlocking this emotion. And proceeds to start kicking this dude's ass left and right.
Yeah, because the emotion in question is animosity.
Yes.
Well, before he hits 100%, he basically starts fighting the guy, and the guy's like, okay, oh, you have powers too, and you're actually pretty strong. Fine. I am a lot more experienced than you are.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he starts corkscrewing his telekinesis around his fists to crack Mob's barriers. And, for a while, it's a one-sided beatdown. Yes.
And it is not pretty. And, you have Ritsu's here freaking out as he's seeing his powerful older brother getting his ass kicked. And, he basically begs, he said, look, I'll come along with you, just stop hurting my big brother. And the dude's line is great. I love his line of, it's like, yeah, that's the right sentiment, kid, and I totally understand it. Unfortunate for you, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, this is when Mob hits 100%.
Yeah.
Actually, no, doesn't he go around the clock again?
He might. I forget. But
No. He hits 100%, and that's when the fight starts, Mob starts actually doing something back, and the guy starts going, okay, this is going to take longer than anticipated.
Yeah.
Trump card after he falls back down from orbit, and hits Mob with the knockout gas. So he's like, okay, I don't have time for this. Hits Mob with the knockout gas, grabs Ritsu, starts mocking all the gang leaders, decides he's going to kill them when Mob gets back up because he's psychic. He's at his psychic point and he's unconscious. Which means all that shit's turned off. He's like, okay, I totally don't have time for this. Now I'm leaving.
I just want to say the fight between Mob and this guy is gorgeous.
Oh my god!
Is it this fight where he hits 200%?
don't remember.
I don't think Mob ever hits.
No, at one point it definitely goes back around the clock.
I think it might be this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a gorgeous fight, and once Mob unleashes himself, holy shit. He just
The dude is definitely like you can tell this guy he's sort of like big fish small pond kind of guy. He's an enforcer for whatever for whatever organization he works for, and once Mob hits full potential, fucking leaves in the wind, man.
Yeah,
he hasn't got a chance.
He's like, all right, I am done. I am leaving.
He's like, fine, I'll pull up my big super heavy hitting explosion thing, and it does nothing to him. He's like, oh fuck.
All right, fine. Knock out gas. We're leaving.
Yeah,
I really didn't want to use this. So yeah,
Ritsu gets kidnapped by Claw, the evil organization of psychers desiring world domination. Woo ha ha.
And some of the members of Claw are actually pretty neat, honestly.
Yes.
Or at least the 7th Division in Japan. They've got divisions all over the world. Claw is a division. This group of psychics who are trying to take over the world, and they are
so Saturday morning cartoon villain.
Oh God, yes, they
and
are
they're
gloriously
so.
so.
To be. Yes.
They have people that they've given psychic powers to.
Basically by torturing them into it.
Basically, yeah. With so there's a mixture of people there who either naturally have psychic powers or people have been given them. And the people who have given them are the bottom of the totem pole because they are the weakest by a noticeable margin.
Yeah.
However, these are people like on par with the kids from the augmentation augmentation clinic. But they've been trained to use their powers in concert together to actually achieve actual effects.
Yes.
Which just does not help them that much against people who actually know what they're doing. The actual people that are most of our protagonists.
Yeah.
So Mob, Taruki, and Dimple go into. First off, they're attacked by one of the other enforcers. They're called the Scars.
Yes. They don't bother to show the fight. They just get.
He shows up to take them on, and we don't see the fight. Apparently, Mob and Taruki just schooled him.
Well, we come back, and one of them is holding him upside down telekinetically and waterboarding him in a bucket.
Yes.
Yeah, they're dunking his head in a bucket. He's tied up in rope, and they're holding up the air with telekinesis, dunking his head in the bucket to get torture information out of him. And he spilled all the beans.
Yeah, because Taruki's already got that little side to him, and Mob is quickly learning because you're fucking with his brother.
Yeah. And it's like I should not use my psychic powers on people, but this is different. He says that several times to himself.
Yep.
So it turns out that Ritsu's and the other psychers aren't stupid.
No.
They actually managed to get themselves out as Mom, Tanuki, and not Tanuki.
Taruki.
Animal.
Yeah. Taruki.
And Dimple go and decide to A-team their way in. Right down to like taking out the security guards and Dimple deciding to possess an unconscious security guard because, well, at least this way I can help.
Yeah, it turns out Ritsu's being kept with the weak psychers from the research facility. He's clearly the more powerful in the room, but they actually realize that we do actually have abilities that could possibly be useful.
Yes.
Most specifically, Clairvoyance Girls, the most actively useful of the bunch for all of this.
Well, they do it as a thing where they combine the guy with pyrokinesis. He can flick a light from his thing to heat up a piece of metal, and then have the telekinetic guy jam it into the lock and reshape the soft metal into a key.
Yep.
Then you've got the two guys that can communicate with each other.
One of them gets taken away to be made an example of.
Yeah.
And it turns out what they did was they used a a psychic illusion to make them think they saw him get killed. But no, the other guy's like, no, they like, we shouldn't bug him too much. He's still mourning his brother. You know, he's like, oh no, my brother's fine. Yeah, we've been talking this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They clearly used a psychic illusion. They just didn't expect us to still be able to talk to each other. Oh, so can you find us? He doesn't know where he is. I can find him. Okay, let's go.
And Ritsu basically manages to lure the guards away from the cameras and kicks their asses.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, you guys are much weaker than I, but the fact you were allowed us to trick these guys into thinking we were completely not a threat, despite the fact that I am very much a threat. Also,
Yeah.
Clairvoyance Girl is actually useful.
Yes.
Yeah. Risu just does all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And so they go and rescue the brother, who's being guarded by a bunch of the powerless goons, including the old smart henchman.
Yes.
It's like, dude,
Best
don't bother
henchman
fighting
ever.
them. Don't bother fighting them. We will get our asses kicked. So what, you're saying that we should just let them go, that the big guys upstairs will take care of it? Well, so but if we don't go take care of them, then we'll never get promotions. We're not getting promotions anyway. We're not psychically active. So we'll always be at the bottom of the totem pole? Are you kidding, dude? When they take over, we are totally being on top.
We're the top of the bottom of the totem pole then.
Yeah.
You don't think we're going to be rewarded?
We're the bottom of the highest totem pole.
Yeah.
But for now, all we'll do in this situation is get our asses kicked, and then it'll go down to the final confrontation with the big bosses. Might as well just skip that step.
It's like that. It's like that. There's a wonderful scene in Batman the Animated Series with a couple of thugs who Batman ambushes, and he basically, one of them attacks Batman. Batman kicks his ass. The other one looks at Batman and just goes, "Nope, I'm done."
Well, there's a scene in. I didn't bring it up at the time, but it reminded me of the scene from or the Inversion. There's a scene in one of the Austin Powers films. I think it's the third one, where it's like Michael Caine is his dad, the super experienced, like legendary spy, like James Bond X.
Right.
And he's fighting off a bunch of henchmen. And it's like there's one dude left, and he's like, he just drops his arm and he goes, "Come on then, son. Just. I'll tell you what. I'll be nice. Just lay down. Come on. I mean, you haven't even got a name badge. You've no chance. Just lay down now. I won't hit you, and I'll say that I did. Okay?" And the dude's like, "Thank you." Puts his gun down, lays down.
I'm reminded of a scene with the henchman from Venture Brothers. It's like, come on, guys, we have to go take him. Are you kidding? That's Brock Simpson. He'll kick our asses. What, you don't think we can take him? We definitely can't take him. Well, I'm going to go in there, and my death will be on your hands. Don't go in there. You're definitely going to get killed. So you're the cannon fodder. You're going to die. We'll make it. We've got names. My name is John. Oh, don't say your name. Now it's going to be all Moblin. I love Venture Brothers. I really should rewatch that show.
It's a good show. So yeah. So Mob and they eventually have to split up. They eventually are like, okay, we got to split. Mob, Dimple, and Terumi basically. Okay, we got to split up. And which point, Helix, Mr. Sights, the guy Mob fought before shows up. He's like, aha. Okay, I'm ready for you now. I'm going to come in 100% from the beginning. You have no chance, and Mob just ping-pongs him around.
Yes. He's like,
It's beautiful.
Mob's just like, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not getting a slugfest with you. Boing, 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 boing.
And he ends up, pinned into the ceiling. His head shoved through the ceiling. Mob, see, the thing is, Mob is at the point where he's like, yeah, I'm not fucking around either. We don't have time to fuck around. You see, I was being nice before.
Yeah.
I started out that fight being nice, just to try to get my brother back. No, I'm done. So they split up, and Terumi's just like, okay. Right. Mob is more powerful. Yeah, okay, Mob. Yeah, right. Okay. The best part is that when Terumi, we should mention, I do want to say that there's a beautiful moment when they're debating, when Mob's planning to go out and go get Riku back, and Terumi volunteers to go along and help out, and Mob's like, why? He's like, well, I have to go after, I'm going to eventually have to take out, Claw at some point because they won't stop bothering me on either. And you know what? This is my best chance to do it. Why? Because I got you here, and it'll make it so much easier. It's like, wait, I get to go in there with someone like him. Yeah.
On my side.
So yeah, we have a bunch of fights between various members of Claw, the various Psyker members of Claw, and our mob Terumi and Dimple. Dimple's fight is amusing but kind of one-sided.
Yeah, Dimple's remarkably clever, but has been at full power since he first showed up, and he's got just a plain old regular meat body to fight with, and he's against someone whose specialty is finding horrible spiritual demons.
Yep. So he loses.
Yeah.
Terumi runs into a pyrokineticist.
A jar filled with other horrible demons, and the one who devours all the others will come out on top. Haha.
Yep. Terumi runs into a pyrokineticist, and that fight's really cool, actually. Short,
yes.
but really cool.
They push it out. They push out the budget with the effects. It's really cool, like flame effects, and the outcome is clever. It shows a little bit of growth for Terumi because it's not about power; it's about smarts.
Yep.
Right.
Mob runs into
the girls.
The girls. One of whom is this little girl who can control these wooden doll things, which she has an infinite army of wooden mannequins that she can attack people with. That's just going to do nothing to Mob.
Yeah.
Yeah. He splinters them all. He just turns them into chipboard.
And, she's got this sort of little sister, big sister relationship with the other girl who's all about using her power to augment her chi abilities and is a brilliant martial artist. And so she comes in very upset about that Mob's basically, made her little sister cry, basically.
Granted, little sister was going to flay Mob alive.
Well, yes. I'm not actually
sucks.
saying that these are good people. But I will grant her that, again, her motivations are a little bit more complex than you would expect. For there's actual nuance to these disposable thugs in the.
Yes.
She actually she doesn't come off as a nasty person. It's more just of a case of she's an extremely powerful psyker, and this is the group that she runs with.
Yep.
She's kind of just accepted her role. Like there's one part where Mob says, I can't fight you back. I can't hit a woman, and she's like, oh no. Okay, kid, that's sweet, and you're a gentleman, but just to let you know, that's kind of an insult too, because I want to fight you at your power, blah blah blah.
We don't see the result of that.
Yeah,
but we see her and the other girl unconscious.
Yeah,
mind you, the stuff she's doing to fight Mob before he actually does anything other than defend himself is actually really cool.
Yeah. Like I say, she's all about augmentation and basically being a physical beast.
I thought she was neat.
Yeah, I liked her. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys don't really get anything other than they are the mini bosses. That is literally it.
Yes.
I think someone actually refers to them as that.
Mini bosses,
I think it's Dimple.
Yes.
I think Dimple.
I think it's Dimple because, of course, Dimple would call them mini bosses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, so the augmentation clinic kids are basically escaping, but they run into, they run into the kid from Central.
Right.
So there's this kid who shows up who's from the sort of the central part of the organization, from headquarters. Who's there to evaluate some stuff about Division 7. And
it's implied that they think he's a rookie. He's a trainee that's been sent to them to learn.
Right.
And it turns out he's not. He's actually probably higher ranked than anybody there.
Yep, probably. I mean, I would say that there is probably like I would say he's more powerful than anybody there except possibly Mob. That's the implication you get from it. But yeah, so yeah, Ritsu basically tells him to go ahead. He'll buy them time. That does not go well for him. He gets his butt kicked. Mob stumbles across him. Illusion guy basically tries to make Mob relive his worst memories to try to defeat him. This does not go well for Illusion guy
spectacularly,
but it does cause Mob to pass out.
Yeah, he hits 100 while the dude's in his brain and just mirror images everything back on him and just nukes the guy. But yeah, he has a bit of a brain fart himself and collapses.
Yeah, he's worn out by it.
Yeah.
And so Terumi got captured also. So they wake up in a room where it's been set up they can't use their powers. Yeah, at which point the rest of the kids are escaping, and they see somebody coming in the front door, and
it's the boss. That's clearly Claw's biggest highest echelon character. Like all the mooks are lined up in ranks saluting him.
Other important bit about this is that they've been saying that the boss is going to be showing up to evaluate some stuff. He's coming back to Japan soon, and he's going to come and check them out. This was mentioned earlier. Yes. And so we see them, and we cut to this outline of a dude in a suit. And we see his eyes, and it's Regan's eyes. At which point, all three of us were like, wait, what the fuck?
At which point, we're all sitting here waiting for the next episode to load, speculating, no, I don't buy it at all. He clearly just stumbled into it, and everyone thought he was the boss, and he rolled with it. That's exactly what happened.
Yes. Now, mind you, there's a moment where all of us thought, wait, was he lying about not having powers the whole time? Wait, is he actually the boss? What's going on? Oh, no, wait. That can't be right. I mean, that would be kind of funny and kind of cool, but that's not this show. And it wasn't. Regan's been basically tracking Mob's cell phone because Mob hasn't been answering his phone calls.
Right.
So he's come to get Mob back.
And yeah, he basically Time Lords his way into the base.
Yeah. Not through being, awesome or sneaksome or anything. He basically just bullshits his way in. They think I'm the boss. Okay, cool.
I guess I'm the boss. Runs a Bavarian fire drill on them, basically.
Yes.
with less shouting.
He downright just convinces all of them that, you know what, you guys should just totally drop this. This is lame. You should go do your own things and live your own lives. You're all people yourselves. You're all individuals. You all have your own dreams, don't you?
The clever thing about it is, though, that he's running with it, but at no point does he ever actually say, "Yes, I'm the boss."
No. He never ever actually lies to them.
Nope, not a once.
And they goes along with
They pretty much realize that.
Yeah.
The other thing about it is they were all brainwashed. That's actually something they stated had happened.
Yes.
He's undone their brainwashing, Claw's brainwashing. Claw, the psychic organization.
He talks them out of being mind wiped.
Regan is the fucking best, man.
He really is. He's amazing.
Why is he not a negotiator?
Because he doesn't have a Mega Deuce. Difference for you guys.
Big O!
Showtime!
He has a mob.
That's true.
This is true. And so
the mob is not a 60-foot tall Art Deco murder bot.
Not yet.
At any rate, so we have the final confrontation. Regan basically manages to just completely befuddle and kind of thump some of the scars.
Yeah.
By basically talking at them and then punching them.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys. It turns out, like, you know, you've got a guy that can control gravity and generate black holes. You know, the illusion dude. There's one guy that can, like, cyclically empower this plastic toy sword that he's got and make it as, you know, as deadly as any lightsaber or something like that. And yeah, Regan's basically talking his way to get close enough to them, and he's like, you know, the gravity control dude is like he's got a black hole above everyone's heads, and Regan uses his special move, which is dropkick to face.
Yes.
He makes him lose concentration by kicking him in the head. It's like it was a great line. It's like, guys, look, violence is never the answer, and Taruki behind it is like, what, and dropkicks are cool? Another dude tries something, and like he just slugs him in the jaw.
Yes.
And like it's going on, you know, and
because they all think Regan must be an incredibly powerful psychic, because Mob refers to him as master, and they've seen Mob's power.
Yeah.
So clearly he is ungodly powerful. No, Regan's just a dude.
Yeah.
Regan actually even says he is.
Yes.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. For the longest time, Mob basically is, like, got to the point where he thought that Regan was just... He couldn't sense any psychic power from Regan because Regan's not a psychic. He's a spiritualist.
Yes.
Different sort of power, that's why I can't sense it. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. You know, any time that Mob mentions, you know, can't you see the ghost? Regan will say, oh, well, obviously he's too weak for me to perceive.
It's like asking me to look at a ladybug on your shoulder from across the room.
Yeah. You know, all those kind of things. But yeah, I mean, there's a scene where, you know, they get trapped in a power dampening room, and it's Regan that gets them out because he's just talked his way into the entire base.
Yep.
No powers, just talked his way through. Like, why are you keeping these guys? They invaded us. Let them go. Okay.
You can't kidnap kids. That's a serious problem, guys. That's not how we do things.
And yeah, it's getting to the thing where the members of Claw are now making their final, like, last stand sort of push and to wipe them out, and Mob's ticking up at a rate of knots, right up until he gets to 99%. And at that moment,
Regan tells him, Bob, it's okay. There's no need to fight these guys. There's no need to hurt anybody. We can just leave. We can run away.
Yeah. He gives him the face slap to snap him out of it. It's like,
right, and he's basically saying, Bob, leave it to me. Leave this to me. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to fight. I know you felt cornered, and that's terrible, and I'm sorry you felt that way. But it's okay. You can just run. Leave it to me. So Bob does.
This is glorious.
Yes.
So
Bob does, in a metaphorical sense.
yeah.
Because Bob doesn't actually run away. He just sort of imparts all his psychic abilities onto Regan temporarily.
Yep.
And Regan doesn't realize that he's got all of Mob's psychic abilities.
Well, what it is, the guy with the sword that I mentioned earlier comes in and slashes Regan in the back.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh shit, oh god, oh shit. And as I said, Regan stopped Mob at 99%. And it's a great close to the episode because it just closes with 100%. Mob's been pushed over. And as it opens back up, Mob's there staring the guys down. And then Regan gets back up because of course he does.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck was that?
I guess that really was just a toy sword.
That really, yeah, he's like, that really is just a plastic toy sword. That's pathetic. The dude swings again. He just catches it and smashes it. He's like, dude, what are you doing?
Dude, you fucking grow up.
You're a grown man.
Dude, grow up.
Yeah, you're a grown man playing with toys. What? Come on.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, the gravity dude starts flinging like miniature black holes at him, and he just starts batting them away left and right.
Yeah, the dude's like, wait, they annihilate anything they come into contact with. How is he doing that?
Dude, whatever these black holes are, what are they? Water balloons? Just stop.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing a gas mask? Just take that off. pulls the gas mask off, which happens to throw him hard enough to go through several walls.
Yeah.
At this point, this is where Regan twigs. Oh, I actually have powers now. Okay, cool.
Oh, Mob's giving me his powers. Got it. Smart kid.
Yeah.
By the way, the emotion that was rising in Mob when it was about to hit 100 when Regan stopped him was murderous intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going to kill everybody.
So yeah, Regan sort of does all that, and the powers wear off. At which point, Gravity Dude gets back up. Because he
It turns
wasn't
out is, despite the fact that it sounds like a little girl with a voice modulator the whole time, it's an old man.
Yeah. And he rants a bit. At which point, the kid from headquarters shows up, and it's like, okay, you guys suck.
Yeah. It should be noted during this entire fight, Regan's basically cutting these guys down because he's a great cold reader. He zeroes in right on each of their insecurities.
Yep.
And guys, stop playing pretend. You are seriously trying to take over the world? Really? Come on.
Nobody's going to follow you, you assholes.
It makes a point. He doesn't actually attack any of them.
No.
Again,
but he does go like, dude, what's with this outfit? Why do you have the plastic shoulder pads to protect my shoulders? You're playing dress up, man. Come on.
The line is, he's like, why do you have the shoulder pads? To protect my shoulders? Right, so you mean nothing at all?
Right.
It just cuts him down. He's like, oh, so you mean they're there for no reason? Who the fuck needs to protect
follow you guys? I mean, come on.
Yeah. And he basically just gets everyone to quit, apart from Gravity Dude, because Gravity Dude is a maniac.
Yeah.
And then the kid from HQ kicks his ass.
Yep.
Gravity Dude's ass, that is. And expresses some disappointment in Mob for being sort of cowardly.
It's like, dude, you are a fucking coward. I came here looking for someone with potential, and you know what? There is no potential here, except for one, but you're a coward. Because Mob didn't do the fighting himself. Mob let Regan do the fighting.
And that is basically, and the kid leaves after, and that's basically the show. I mean, there's a bit of a coda. Ritsu and Mob have gone back to, Ritsu and the student president actually apologized to the various delinquents that they framed.
Yeah.
And the leader of the delinquents said, "Yeah, I kind of figured that's what happened." But the important thing is that, yeah, it was a frameable job, it was a smartly done one, but it wouldn't have mattered if it hadn't been. Everyone wanted me out anyways. They all hated me because I was a dick. I got to fix that.
So I have joined the Body Improvement Club. Because that's how you become a better person. You join the Body Improvement Club at Salt Middle School.
Apparently. Because they're the best people at the school, basically.
Yeah. See, this is what I've said for a long time. Like, the biggest guys are generally the nice ones because they don't have the little man syndrome.
Yep.
And so yeah, Mob and Regan's relationship has improved.
Yep.
Not Regan, Ritsu.
Yeah.
Dimple
Regan
still
can see ghosts now.
Yep.
That's all he can do.
Yeah, Regan can now actually see ghosts all the time.
Yeah, Mob left a bit of an impression on him.
Which means that, Mob sends Dimple to tell him that, he's not gonna be able to make it to work today. And Regan's like, "Oh, well, then you'll help me." And Dimple's like, "What do you mean?"
Well, you could have just called me on the cell phone. That's what you're here for. Fuck.
Well, why do you think I would do that? Well, you're Mob's errand boy, aren't you? Fuck. Yeah, I kind of am, aren't I? He doesn't say that, but you can totally tell us what he's thinking.
Yeah, he's sort of like, fuck. Oh, how I have fallen.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically Mob. There's a little bit of a coda with a amusing little scene with Mob and Regan going off to hunt a cryptid of some sort.
Yep.
Which totally is not a cover for Regan to go onto private property to nick a bunch of mushrooms.
Not at all.
That's totally what Regan's there for. Yeah, those things don't
I
exist.
know what you're thinking. They're literally just tasty mushrooms. There's no psychoactive properties.
Right? Yeah,
involved.
no, just
They're
rare
just
mushrooms
tasty
that are
mushrooms.
tasty.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to be psychoactive, given how the rest of the show is. Because, wow, it's like chasing all your methamphetamines with a gallon of mescaline. That's what the show is like.
Visually, at least.
Yes.
Narratively, it holds together very well.
Yes.
It's very easy to follow.
It's very well written, with really great, complex, nuanced characters, and my God, is it fucking gorgeous? Did I just? Hello?
Hello?
I thought I heard someone drop.
No. Gav, you there?
Yep, it disconnected for a second.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Anyways,
I was
we
talking
should probably get into
for a
final
while.
thoughts.
Drop. That's important.
Hey, we should get into final thoughts.
Yes.
'Cause we're basically there at this point. So, Eric, Gav, you'll start off. I'll follow up, and Eric, you get the final words because it's your recommendation. Gav?
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Just checking. Okay. So yeah, I liked it. It took me a couple of episodes to get into it, just because, as I said at the beginning, the art style kind of threw me off. The very first episode, it presents you with a host of psychic abominations, the evil spirits, and you don't really see them again until like later on when we meet the scars. And I made the comment immediately. They looked like they were pulled straight from the real Ghostbusters cartoon in the 80s.
Which is amazing.
It was, but they were just that sort of like weird sort of. It's a style I haven't seen in a very long time.
Right.
And a lot of the psychedelia and all that sort of stuff was a little bit. Again, it was off-putting for the first maybe episode or two. Once I got used to that, and once I got past that, yeah, it's a fantastic show. It's well written, it's smart, it's beautiful to look at once you know what you're looking at. I mean, it's like I've said already. It's from the same guy as One Punch Man. He writes really well. You get invested in the story. The characters are all individual and interesting and have their own shtick. They're not cut and paste from any other sort of story. They're not really what's the word? Stereotypes as such. To a degree they are, but they at least twist it enough so that they're very different. You couldn't say Mob is like anyone that, at least to my knowledge, I couldn't say, oh, Mob is a whatever, you could say half a dozen characters are Shinji clones.
Right.
I can't think of another Mob out there. Even Regan, Regan is like by far for me the best character. Just because of that ability to think on his feet and talk his way out of any situation. He never loses his cool. In a lot of animes, it would be a point where, he gets to that point where he actually comes up against something serious and would lose his shit and run away and Mob would sort it out. That's not Regan. Just everything, just like water off a duck's back. It just reacts, deals with it. He's such a well-written character. I love him. Other than that, yeah, I mean, I think I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to say about this. I wouldn't put it up as one of my absolute favorites, but it is definitely a very good show, and I would recommend it.
Yep. Unlike Gav, this is one of my favorites now. Honestly, I will say, as a strict sort of a point of comparison between two works by the same author, One Punch Man is definitely a funnier show. I think in almost every other way, Mob Psycho is better. Again, from a technical standpoint, on the art in One Punch Man is better, but the simplistic art style lends itself to much more expressive character sort of interactions and the way they talk and the way they move. And I love the visual aesthetic, but ignoring that, the story of Mob Psycho is a more self-contained and actual story than One Punch Man is.
I will just add to mine. This does sequel bait a little bit.
Oh, there's more coming. There's another season coming. So
yeah. So it's like it does the same as One Punch Man. You know, it teases, it deals with a big threat this season, but it teases the large, you know, the world at large.
Right.
The only thing I would say that the only problem I've got with Mob over One Punch Man is with Saitama, his powers are there. You know, he's at 100% all the time. And it's him coming to deal with that. Mob hits 100% a bit too often for my liking. It's not. It's like he goes from 0 to 100, and it's like, you know, like those old cartoon, you know, cartoon of the week, you know, shows that they just put on Saturday mornings where protagonist, plot, resolution, and it's like in a 20-minute episode every week, and all you're waiting for is the hero to hit that and then win.
Oh, form blazing sword.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But Gav, that's sort of the point of the show. And
I know.
Mob is 13. B, he's been repressing his emotions. This is all about Mob as a character. Mob is the inverse of Saitama psychologically. That's the whole point.
Yes.
That is literally the whole point.
Yeah.
Mob is weak and fragile emotionally.
Said what I was going to say.
That the point is Mob. The story of Mob Psycho, and going forward, as near as I can tell, I've not read it, but is Mob's evolution is not about his power or his abilities. It's about him as a person. And that's one of the things I think is most interesting about Mob Psycho. One of the reasons I love this show is the powers are there to look cool and do stuff and allow for some interesting storytelling elements, but that's not what the show's about. The show's about the characters.
Yeah.
And that's true of One Punch Man also, but from a different angle.
Yeah.
And I think that the Mob Psycho is more nuanced in terms of how it handles its characters, and there are more characters that are better developed than the ones in One Punch Man.
Absolutely. Though I will add, I can guarantee you, absolutely 100% guarantee you, Regan would get a hero's license.
Yes, because he'd talk his way into it.
If he wanted it, yes.
Yes, I guarantee you he would.
At any rate,
because Regan knows how to play bureaucracy when he needs to.
Oh, sure, absolutely. But at any rate, I just absolutely freaking adored the show. I mean, I'm not as much of an animation nerd as Eric is by any stretch of the imagination, but Jesus Christ, the show is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God! Like, it's just the way they use the different animation styles, and every time they bust out that oil and glass stuff is. Can we talk about the end credits?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yes.
The end credits,
wow!
The end credits is done entirely in oil and glass, and with a couple of CGI composites, and fuck, it's gorgeous.
And it's really just like Regan going through his morning, walking to work, meeting up with Mob, and walking along. That's all it is. Really simple, just slice of the moment of someone's regular day.
Yeah, and one of the things I do want to mention is how much I love Regan, not just because of how slick and composed and funny and quick-witted he is, but also just because of the obvious the way they subtly but yet make it obvious the depth of affection he has for Mob as a person. Like their relationship is not just him bilking Mob for his psychic abilities to help him in his job for 300 yen an hour. Like, he's legitimately helping Mob grow up and be a better person because he likes this kid and wants this kid to be a better person.
Yeah, Regan's a scoundrel through and through, but he's a good guy. He's very much a good person. He very much cares about people around him, and he's helping people out. He's doing it in a dishonest way, but he's helping them out in the long run.
No, he's definitely the classic scoundrel with a heart of gold. I mean...
Yes. Regan's great for all of these reasons.
Maybe fool's gold, but maybe gold with a little patina. Maybe silver.
Well, gold's only worth what we're willing to give for it. I mean, didn't recreators make that point?
Exactly. But yeah, I really, really, really like this show. It's a lot of fun, and it's just really well put together. I'm really impressed by it. So, Eric, it's up to you now. You got the hammer.
So, this show's my jam. This
Yeah.
show pushes almost every one of my buttons minus giant robots, unfortunately. But this is one of those shows that could be enjoyed simply as a psychedelic head trip, as a fun comedy. But it's also has a lot more nuance, and it rewards you digging deeper into it, which is something I love. I love media that you can enjoy in different levels that way, whether it's like RoboCop or Guardians of the Galaxy or this, and that's really high praise putting it in that. For me, putting it in those. What's the word I'm looking for? Putting it in that company. Like the characters are all fun and likable, and you can enjoy them just as like the archetypes they're portrayed as. But you dig a little deeper, you look a little closer, and they just sort of open up like a kaleidoscope. And there's just so much interesting stuff in each and every one of these characters, and watching them evolve and grow as we get to know them better. From Mob's insecurities, Regan's hidden depths of humanity, Dimple's hidden depths of humanity.
Yeah.
Risu's like giant pile of neuroses hidden just below the surface. Like, there's a lot of great stuff in each of these characters. This show's a visual fucking feast. It just loves. So this is again, the show has very much very simple designs, very simple line work, and is fairly heavily stylized. All of this allows them to just go completely bonkers when they need to, at the same time allows a degree of subtlety that you miss if you weren't looking for it. Like, it might be, the designs might be simpler than One Punch Man, but it's more nuanced by a significant margin.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then it, for like every like nice simple like reaction shot during a conversation, it's got some sort of batshit insane multimedia orgasm going on. It's amazing. Like I adore this show. I am angry at myself for waiting so long to watch it. This show is absolutely my jam. I need to digest it, maybe watch it one more time before I figure out whether or not it has a permanent place in my favorites. But it's right now, it's up there.
I think the only thing that I won't say spoil. Spoil is a bad word. But the only thing that I would say I would lean towards One Punch Man more than this is because I am more of a fan of actual martial arts and physical combat.
Sure,
absolutely.
I'm not disparaging One Punch Man at all. It's
no,
amazing masterpiece.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, for me, I find the action scenes in One Punch Man a little bit more exciting that way, because I can't help but see people staring at each other, making angry faces while special effects go off around them. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. It's like, that's why I really appreciated the Scar with there was the woman that was the augment, because she went actually physical combat. But yeah,
well,
it's a really minor nitpick on my part.
Sure.
I think what it boils down to is One Punch Man might be more technically adept in its fight scenes, but Mob Psycho is much more experimental.
Yes.
Oh God.
And if only we could somehow combine them into a Franken anime.
We
Someone
get
get me
Akira.
some sutures.
Eric,
Oh yeah, Akira. They already did that.
Visually, we get Akira. From a visual standpoint, we get Akira. The writing in both these shows blows Akira's out of the water, though.
Yeah.
Like, I love Akira. I really like Akira a lot. And visually, Akira is, Jesus Christ, amazing.
It's a masterpiece today. Never mind, never mind 30 years ago.
Akira still blows most animated features out of the water with its just technical prowess and amazing visual storytelling. Unfortunately, its plotting has some problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not as well written as Mob Psycho or One Punch Man.
Yeah,
true.
unfortunately, the writers were dropping the same acid that the animators were to get the visuals. And it helps the visuals a lot more than it does the writing.
Well, I mean, it turns out that the manga that that Akira is based on, the mangaka was the guy who made the movie, and he wasn't done with the manga yet when he started making the movie.
Yeah, that's
you
never
can
a good
tell.
sign.
Yeah.
What do you mean ending? Oh,
yeah, this is basically what I plotted out. Yeah, we'll do this. You know what? I'm going to go on these other dozen tangents when I'm writing the comic. Oh, wow, this is now like 6 gigantic volumes, isn't it?
As an aside, if you've not watched Akira, watch it for the visuals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Watch
There
Akira
is
just for the historical value.
That too.
if you
Akira is cited as being one of the things that kicked Disney out of its funk and into its renaissance.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Well, put it this way: if you're watching this, a show based around anime, and you haven't watched Akira, fuck you doing?
It's not as easy to get a hold of these days.
Okay,
No,
fair enough.
like
But I will
with
say,
it.
there is all the rumors that Hollywood is doing a remake of Akira, a live-action remake.
Don't.
Do not let that be your first experience of Akira.
No, please don't. Akira's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous, and it's so historically important to animation in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about the story. Just don't worry about that at all.
Bad.
It's not bad, but you don't need to pay attention. Just watch the pretty.
Pay attention to the story. There's
story's
some
not
actual
bad
good
at
stuff
all.
going on there.
I
But
like the story in Akira, but it's not without its problems. I will admit that it's not a perfect movie.
at any rate, I think that's going to wrap things up for tonight. Again, 3 thumbs up, unsurprisingly. That's generally what we do on the show.
We do try and find like experimental stuff that none of us have watched, and that generally leads to me finding shit.
Well, to be fair, Mob Psycho was something that had been on my list for a while, and I hadn't
Same.
seen it. So
Yeah, it's one of those I'd heard of. Yeah.
guys, we'll watch this. Everyone says it's good. It looks like it's my jam, but let's give it a shot. And yeah, god damn it, why didn't I watch this sooner?
Yeah, that's where I am right now. All right, Gav, yours is the next choice. What are we doing next?
Well, I thought long and hard. I've tried to come up with something a little bit different, and then I failed. I was trying to come up with something I haven't heard of, I haven't watched, and I thought I found something, and then I found out it was a rip-off of something far more popular. So we're going to be doing Attack on Titan.
All right.
Because
Season 1 of Attack on Titan.
It's one of those big names that, look, we've covered a fair few already. It's one of those that everyone knows, and I've never really sat down and watched it. I've just watched the intro many times, laid over many different visuals. So I might actually want to see what the story's about.
So I think you have not watched the series. Eric, have you seen the first season of it?
I've seen the first season of Attack on Titan, yes.
I've read the manga.
Okay.
Okay. We're coming in from 3 different angles here.
Yep.
It's a pincer movement.
So that's going to do it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll be back after we finish Attack on Titan. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Watch Akira.
Yes.